What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. I hope everybody's having a swell day. And today I'm going to be mining on Hive and show you guys how to use a Hive USB drive to plug into your main desktop and then boot to the USB drive. So that way you don't have to jump through the hoops of trying to mine on Windows, because some people do have issues with that. A lot of first timers and newcomers to Windows, and there's also a little bit of like security factor that goes along with like mining on Windows and potentially having like a bad miner or a miner that has something bad in it. It's happened in the past, but regardless, this is just an easy way to shut your system down out of Windows, start it back up, and then just set it to boot to the USB. So that way you can boot straight into Hive and then mine away, just as happy as could be. Now, the subject for today is this system that I got in on a trade deal, or actually it wasn't a trade deal. I bought out a bunch of other stuff, and this came along with it, and it kind of sweetened the deal on it. I don't know exactly what's in here. I know there's a 1080 for the Win 2 edition, but I figured we'll go ahead and open it up, and then I'll show you guys booting into Hive on a normal desktop. It's definitely not hard to do. It looks like it's got some Corsair RAM in there, 1080 for the Win 2, 750 watt power supply. It's got an Elgato. Oh, it's actually got an Elgato stream card. That's really cool. For storage, I see two SSDs, but I don't see any solid state. So this thing must have been feeling like turtle slow if the boot drive is one of these so 1 terabyte, and let me get this thing out of here. Oh, it's probably held up by the cables in the back. I forgot it's still plugged in. But yeah, it's got 2 spinning rusts in there. And then for the CPU, we're going to have to pop this bad boy loose and clean off that thermal paste. I just got a new tube of thermal paste in though, so not an issue. We'll just repaste it back up. Oh no, it did the classic. I should have twisted it before I pulled it out. You know, AM4 life. Well, let me put this camera down and get this CPU off of there. Alright, so the CPU came off. Looks like we did not do any damage to the pins. It just came straight out of there. That was a rookie mistake on my end, but, you know, it happens. A lot of times people will be like, oh, you know, fire up the system, or shimmy the cooler side to side before you pull it off, and that is a good practice. Firing up the system puts a little bit of heat on the chip, and like this thermal paste that's on here is like rock solid hard. It's probably been on there for a minute, that's for sure. Alright, and it looks like we have a Ryzen 7 1700X. So not a bad little chip. Definitely not a powerhouse like a 59 or a 3900X, but for back in the day, that was a really 1700X was a really good CPU. So let me reinstall this, get her lined up. We'll put some new thermal paste on there. Make sure there's no dust in there. Oh yeah. Goes in nice and perfect. Yeah, I need to clean that block off. This cooler block is dirty. There we go. Okay. Thermal paste for today we're using, I just got in a new little thing of it. Oh, there we go. Noctua, the NTH1. It's good all around thermal paste, non-conductive, so you don't have to worry about if you get it in places that it ain't supposed to be. Not that we're going to be doing that, but just in case. So, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I bought me the old Big Mama here. Let me show you guys this. If I can get it out of there. Oh yeah, check that out. That's a 10 grams in there, so definitely can at least goober this on for quite some time. Those little tubes they just don't last. But anyway, my camera's about to die, so I'm gonna thermal paste this up, and then grab the Hive USB drive. We're gonna grab that, and I'm gonna show you how to boot in and set something to boot to your Hive USB drive. Alright, now that we want to actually set up to boot to a Hive install, if you haven't already watched how to set up a Hive rig, this is kind of a basic little overview. Once you get to your farm, if you already have some workers created, you can just click on a worker and then go to settings, or we can just create a new worker. We can click on add worker. It's going to be a rig. We're going to connect an existing. And we're not going to do this ID password. We're going to download the rig.config right here. That's going to download. I have a lot of them, so I have to take away that where it says 38. We're going to copy that and go over to our Hive drive, which if we go to my computer or this PC, you'll see Hive right there, and you'll see rig config example. So you just paste your rig config in there, and you make sure, if you have multiple, you'll have to rename it, and it's just rig.conf, and it's already got all your my son's crying. It's already got all your login credentials and everything that you need to in there. Let me go see what he's up to, and I'll be right back. Alright, all is well with my son. He just wanted a bottle. Let me flip this around and show you what we got going on here. So I have the Hive USB plugged in. We have Ethernet plugged in, and I just fired this computer up and I went directly into BIOS. So on most motherboards, it's F2 or delete. You just slam those right away as soon as you turn your computer on. And then, this is an Asus board. All BIOSes are a little bit different, but they're all a little bit the same. On these, it's super nice. It's got your boot priority right here. So right at the top, you'll see Windows Boot Manager. That means right now it'll go into Windows with the boot manager. But we want it to boot off of the SATA SanDisk Ultra 960G. That's the, no, that's not it. Yeah, that's the one we want. General UDisk. No, maybe that's not it. Let's go into our boot menu. Let's see here. UDisk 5, 7000. Plex Store. Okay, so it's gonna be one of these general UDisks. I'm not sure which one it is, so we're just gonna try one. We're gonna drag that up to the top, and then we're going to hit F10, which is save and exit. And if it's successful, it will boot straight into your actual USB drive. Some motherboards you can go straight to a boot menu. Some don't have a quick boot menu, so that's your mileage will vary with that. Like, see, this one's delete or F2 to enter BIOS. And yep, okay, so yeah, we are now booting into the Hive USB drive and not booting into the SSD for Windows, or the hard drive for Windows, sorry. So we'll give it a second. This bad boy's blinking away, and I'll be right back once she's live action. Alright, so we have the system up and mining on the CPU right now. I have not done any tweaking, so it's stock out of the box. It's doing 3.7 kilohash on RandomX. And let me pull up our Hive screen over here. I don't have the GPU currently doing anything, but we are just mining on the CPU. I notice it's getting a little warm in there, so I need to go probably pull the voltage back and crank the fans up, because 79, it's creeping up slowly. Yeah, see, it's 80 right there, and we're losing a little bit of hash rate. As that temperature goes up, that hash will keep coming off. But luckily with Ryzen chips, even first gen Ryzen, you can pull the power back and save a lot of temperature and end up getting more efficiency by being able to cool these things off and push them a little bit harder. It's counterintuitive, but it works. It really does. So anyway, that's how you plug in a USB drive, and then you can let it mine and run while you're not there. And then when you're done, to boot back into Windows, all you do is turn the rig off, unplug the USB drive, turn the rig back on, and your next boot priority will then shift up, which, since the USB drive won't be there, it'll be your Windows boot manager. So it'll just fire right back into Windows. It's not exactly the most seamless or easy way to do it, but if you're having a lot of issues, or you don't want to have any compromised stuff running on your Windows, not saying that any of this is compromised, but it could be. There has been issues with certain third-party miners in the past, but that's not what we're talking about today. This is just another option for being able to run your system and do some mining with it in a more stable platform. I definitely think that running on Hive in Linux for mining is significantly more stable than Windows, hands down, every day of the week. So yeah, let me flip this around. So I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out. We're going to be doing a lot of these videos, like how-tos and stuff, basically refreshing everybody up. So I know I'm not speaking to a lot of you OGs or people that have already done it, but there is going to be an influx of new people to the channel. So just, bear with them and give them a little bit of slack along the way. So lots of updates coming for 2024. And who knows, you might learn something. Maybe. But anyway, I'm going to get this system cleaned up. I'm going to pull those hard drives out of there. I'm going to pull that Elgato out of there. And then I'm probably going to put an SSD in it and get it ready for putting on the web store. So if you're looking for a Ryzen 1700 with 16 gigs of RAM, and it's got a 1080 in it now. I don't know if I'm going to leave a 1080 in it. I might end up putting like a 1070 or something else in there, and then just sending her on her way. So adding a bunch of stuff to the web store, bc-pc.com, www.bc-pc.com. Super simple to get there, and tons of inventory to go through, tons of stuff to add, all that kind of stuff. Also, little bit of a sorry to you guys, or I apologize, which I'm going to make it up to you guys. The Xeon motherboards are running behind. We just got a few more in right here, but I had a big package or a big shipment of them coming in, and it got delayed. So it looks like that's going to be another few days on that. It stinks, but I'm going to be sending everybody that's been waiting on one for any amount of time, y'all are going to get a discount code, and it's going to get some money off your next order. So just a little prize, not prize, but a little thank you and sorry all at the same time. Anyway, I'm getting off here. It's super late. Y'all have a good night.